why
Yeah.
we're talking about Ukrainian wine.
So we at Other World Wines, we focus on importing wine from countries that we think are underrepresented in the UK. And we've just brought across 3 Ukrainian wines. Ukraine is definitely one of those countries. It's got a long history of making wine that maybe we don't see so much in the UK. And so we've just brought these 3 across from Odesa. And yeah, we're really proud to be sharing them, especially now with everything that's happening.
How challenging was it to get these wines, to import wine from Ukraine at this time?
It was really difficult, but the credit for that is with the winery. I mean, completely with the wine. It was easier for us than normal because the winery took on so much responsibility. The kind of resilience that we're all kind of used to, I suppose, from Ukrainians now, was just remarkable. I mean, they're working in shift patterns around air raid sirens. I mean, it's that sort of thing that you just can't really imagine. And despite everything, are really keen to make sure that they can still get their product out, get wine out to the world, and show everyone what they're all about, which was kind of just astounding to witness, to be honest.
Tell us about your links here, because I think I'm right in saying, Gleb, that you're Ukrainian yourself.
Yeah, both my parents are from Donetsk in eastern Ukraine. I've got family all over Ukraine. Some of them are now in the UK. So yeah, it's been quite a personal project for me, I suppose, after a very challenging, what continues to be a really challenging year. But really proud to have kind of been involved, and we're donating money back to Ukrainian charities for every bottle sold. And it's been a really, amazing thing for me to be part of personally, for sure.
I want to talk about the wine, but before we do, just briefly, given that you mentioned you have family who are still there in Ukraine, how are they coping?
Yeah, it's really difficult. So, I mean, I had an auntie, 2 cousins, and my gran who were in Bucha in February, which is now kind of synonymous with some of the atrocities that have happened there, and the stories that they have about what happened, and then also how difficult it was to get out, are really difficult to listen to, and it's still ongoing, of course. And I've got family all over Ukraine who, are looking to be set for quite a difficult winter. Russia's targeting energy infrastructure, so they're without heat, without water, electricity. So it's I think it's tempting sometimes to normalize this kind of thing, but it's very much still ongoing, and it looks to be a really difficult winter. But the kind of things that I guess spur me on personally, and us on, just the resilience that Ukrainians have shown, and also the support, I guess, that Ukraine's received from the UK and all over the world. That's been really warming. I'm sure we'll get through this.
Gleb, let's talk about the wine itself. You really kindly have shared a bottle with us here in the studio. I've got a red in front of me, which I'm just going to pour and ask you to tell me a little bit about it whilst
absolutely.
I taste it. Tell me about it.
That's so we've got a Saperavi Merlot blend there. So the 2 grapes are Saperavi and Merlot. If you've ever had Bordeaux, that's a blend of Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot. And basically the idea is you take a grape that's quite big and sharp, like Cabernet Sauvignon, or in this case Saperavi, and you mix it with something a bit softer, a bit rounder, and you get a kind of a balanced wine at the end of it. So that's what this one is. Saperavi is a Georgian grape, which is really popular in Eastern Europe. We don't see much of in the UK, which is exactly the kind of thing we want to bring across. And it's actually made in a kvevery, which is this giant clay pot. Basically, it's a really ancient method of making wine. Although the winery Shabo is really, really modern and state of the art, they still use these ancient methods, which I think is really cool. And you basically, it's more complicated than this, but you basically put all the grapes in this giant clay pot and you bury it. And then after leaving it for a period of time, you come back to it, and there's wine magically. And it's a technique that was used in Georgia, which is the birthplace of wine, kind of 8,000 years ago, where they would bury grapes for the winter, and then kind of came back to it and made the greatest discovery of all time, which is that they had wine.
Well, listen, it tastes absolutely delicious. I'm sipping it as we speak. You've got an event coming up, Gleb, to raise money for Ukraine. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that's right. On the 19th of November, we are hosting a celebration of Ukrainian cuisine and art at Clapton Country Club in East London. And we're raising money for 2 charities, which are Vostok SOS, which is a Ukrainian charity based in Mariupol, who do a lot of great work evacuating people and helping displaced Ukrainians. And also for Choose Love, who do a lot of great work in Ukraine and across the world. And yeah, we're going to have Ukrainian music. We've got performances by two Ukrainian refugees, one of whom is a concertmaster in Kiev. We've got our new Ukrainian wines you can try there. We've got Ukrainian food. It's going to be just one big kind of celebration of Ukraine. Yeah, and all the proceeds will go to charity, which we're really, really excited for.